Hello, Bronco fans and football fans everywhere. Welcome to Broncos Breakdown on the MHRT Network. This is a show that is everything Broncos and brought to you with emotion, passion, honesty, and of course, my comments along with his comments and your comments in the chat. I am your host. He is Kona Spence. However, which way? He's over there somewhere. He's out in the mountains somewhere, so that's why I can't get a hold of him. He's Kona Spence. He's my co-host. Kona, how you been all week, man?
I have been great. There's just been a good energy in the world, this week with everything that's going on. I know I got some texts from a few people. I live out in the Santa Clarita area. The fires were way on the other side, so all is good here. We're happy. We're ready for a good Broncos breakdown, some happy hour. I hope everybody's got their happy hour drink and you're going to keep up with us. Say something in the chat. A lot of great topics to talk about. I know a few people are going to be interested in our opinions. So, Bill, lead us off. How was your weekend?
I'll tell you what, before we get into topics, big announcement is coming today. Not taking effect today. Taking effect on February 7th, 2 days before the Super Bowl. Broncos Breakdown is being revamped, redesigned,
Rebranded.
Rebranded. There you go. Because I got a co-host in Spence. So since I'm taking Broncos Breakdown to a next level, we have to change our name. We're changing our logo. We're changing our name. And we've got Spence as a co-host. So things are moving forward in 2025. I'm not going to reveal the logo. I'm not going to reveal the name just yet. It's all set, ready to go. It will be dropping February 7th. Spence, you excited about that?
I'm very excited about that.
I know you've seen the logo and everything, so I know.
Oh, I've seen the logo, but what it does, it represents us. It represents how we look at the Broncos. It represents the energy we're going to give to the audience, and it represents what we support and love to hear from everybody else. And I'm ready to talk Broncos. I'm ready to talk football. I'm ready for the championship weekend, and I'm ready for my happy hour.
Championship. That's what I'm wearing this because it's championship weekend. I know the Broncos aren't in it, but it's okay. It's still championship weekend. Each and every one of you out there, thank you so much for chiming in on the chat. Thank you so much for being here on a Friday, 5, 6, 7, and 8, wherever you may be across this great country, as well as other countries around the world. We have gotten from Australia, Canada, England, Germany. We really do appreciate it. Guys, hope you had a fantastic week. Let's dive in. Got a ton of topics tonight, Coda. It's crazy. Let's start off first with the Broncos free agents. I got noise in the background. You okay?
No, that was me.
Oh, okay. That's all right. Broncos free agents. Cam Fleming, Parham, and Stills. However, did you hear that Stills was picked up yesterday by the Atlanta Falcons? Do you wish that any of those guys were still here, even Stills? Because I do. I thought Stills would be a good backup. But the other two were on the practice squad. Do you think you'll miss any of them?
Stills was one of those that you kind of wondered what direction the team would go. If Stills stayed around, they thought he could contribute to being that 2, that 3. I think there's someone or some multiple people out there in either free agency or the draft who might come in and play a more valuable effort. I thank Stills for everything he did, helped us out tremendously. Wish him well with, I believe he is now with Atlanta.
Yes.
Is that
Stills did get signed.
Wish him well. He was one of those borderline, do we take the next, is he going to help us take the next step or not? Understand the Broncos business action here. Hopefully the team Peyton and the entire Broncos have someone who's going to be coming in to help with that fill that void.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally agree. On the heels of those free agents leaving, Nick Bonito wants to stay as a Denver Bronco, but there's a possible chance that might not happen. Listen to this. Hopes to get an extension. Bonito hopes to get an extension with the Denver Broncos. Nick Bonito and the Broncos would like to get an extension, but Denver has a tendency to wait until the last minute to extend a player, a la Cortland Sutton last offseason. Okay, Sutton was thinking about leaving too. Now, to this. However, Bonito may request a trade. This is important. May request a trade if Denver delivers a contract that he feels isn't up to his standards. Now, wait a minute. Isn't up to his standards? You mean to tell me he is going to call his own ticket, so to speak? If he wants to stay in Denver, why would they kind of come to a similar compromise? And I've heard, and this could be catastrophic, if he leaves, I've heard he may go to the Ravens or the Chargers. They're both interested. That would absolutely devastate the Broncos.
I would say right now, get him in a room, figure out what he wants, what you can accept, come to a meeting ground right now, because you have to set the bar right now for a linebacker of this caliber. If you keep waiting, the bar is going to go higher. It's going to go higher. You've got Levante David out there from Tampa Bay who's going to request some money. You've got Ernest Jones from Seattle. He's going to request. You got Dre Greenlaw with San Francisco who's going to request. These guys signed before Bonito. That bar just suddenly got higher and higher and higher. And where you thought you were going to pay him, I'm just throwing numbers out, like 10 to 11 a year. Greenlaw just got paid 11.5 from San Francisco a year. Now he's going to want 13. Get him in a room, show him that you want him part of the family, work the numbers together, tell him that you're trying to build a culture, you're trying to build a team here. If he wants to break the bank, then you may have a problem. But if he wants to develop something here, there's room to work with. But you've got to do this now, not a week from now, not next month, not when after the draft. You got to do it now before the bar for salaries gets set and you have to go higher, and higher.
Okay, so basically what you're saying is that Bonito's worth right now is up here.
It is.
And there's going to be teams that are going to want – if the Chargers are interested in Bonito, that sends a strong message to the Broncos. This guy's good, and we need him to beat you guys or to beat the Chiefs.
Exactly.
Why would Denver even allow that? You cannot allow a player like that to go to another team in your division.
But you also overpay to keep the culture together, keep the team together. Bonito knows the team. He knows the coaching staff. You don't have to start over from scratch. He knows the schemes. He could help Vance Joseph. I've only had one beer and I'm already slipping already. Jeez.
Hey, it starts with a J. What the? Okay, go back to Bonito. Do you think Bonito would literally try and take the screwdriver, so to speak, and dig into the financial brain trust of this Walton Penner ownership group and start twisting and say, I want it my way or I'm leaving? That, to me, if he says that or implies that, be gone. I don't want you, because now you're a cancer on the team.
No, that's why you bring him into a room and you get him in there and you say, look, you're a valuable member of our family. We want you to be a part of the organization. We're trying to build something here. We understand what you want. We're trying to make something so that everybody gets a piece of the pie and we can build from there. We want you to be the team leader on defense. We want you to teach these rookies how to be successful. We want you to be a voice in the locker room. If the Broncos have to overpay, if the bar is set at 10 million and you have to pay $12 million, you pay that money to invest into the culture.
Of course, the Walton Penner ownership group has that kind of money. But again, you've got ceilings within every team. You can only go so high. You can't go past that. You get penalized, whatever. My concern is that Bonito might want to push that proverbial envelope. Okay,
Yes.
You're offering me 9. Chargers are offering me 10-5. Ravens are offering me 13. What are you going to do?
You match the 13 from the Ravens.
Okay. Do you think they'll do that?
You match it. If he's getting,
do you personally, let me ask you, do you personally feel Benito is worth whatever he's asking to stay on the Broncos? Remember,
yes.
Remember, he had some lean years when he began. He's gotten better, that's for sure. But is he worth basically putting a line in the sand saying, this is what I want, and if other teams cross that line and want me, I'm going?
If you treat him like someone who's going to be invested into the team, then you try to make him understand. You get him like I said, you get him in a room. You tell him exactly what you're doing. You show him. You say, look, we all know you're worth this. We know you want that value. We know this linebacker is going to do this. We want to take care of you, but we also want you to put you in a position of leadership. If he goes to another team right now, he may not have that position of leadership. So, so here's the thing. Do you want to go to a team and get paid, or do you want to go to a team and have leadership with a chance to be a champion caliber team?
Or if he goes to the Chargers, I mean, it's the same division. Yeah. And we're going to get into that because it's going to be a huge topic we're going to talk about. And as you guys can see underneath our names, it says the AFC West just got tougher, and Kona has AFC West and now must-watch team. We're going to get into all that, okay? Yep. But before we do, it's just, to me, I don't want to lose any guys. I don't want to lose any starter players, especially going to an AFC West rival. I don't care who it is. I don't want to see that. Before we get to the second, yes, go ahead.
But just to say, this also could be a negotiation ploy. I mean,
of course it is.
These agents, I put nothing past them.
So it's kind of like when you go buy a new car. The new car is like $35,000. You say, hey, I'll give you like 30. Can I get you like 30,000, 31? You kind of haggle back and forth. Maybe not new cars, but
I think it's worse because these agents can go out there and use the media tools, which I'll talk about later. Media tools to promote their player. Yeah. Oh, there have been stories of players who've been out there with free agents and their sports agents have put false stories out there. Oh, this team offered.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. That's ploys to get more value.
That's which I think is wrong. It's kind of like cheating, but I don't like it. Or lying, actually more like lying.
Yeah, gotta say hi to the guys in the chat.
I am. D-Rock says, Big Bill, hey, D-Rock. I say, what's up, Big D-Rock? My brother-in-law from Vegas says, Bull Twinkie, take the middle one. Take the middle one for what you talking about?
I think we'll talk about it later. I think he's the happiest guy right now in the AFC West. He's
not a Charger fan.
I know.
I mean, an MA Raider fan, but he's in Vegas. Yeah, okay. He goes, I'm not picky. He says that my Coors is empty. I don't think so.
Hey, Rudy, really just to show you, my beer can is still full.
And overflowing. All right. Back to the topics. As Spence is already on his second one, which is fantastic. Here we go. By the way, the background behind you, for everyone wanting to know, you live, don't say exactly your address, obviously, but the general area. You live in the greater Los Angeles area.
Santa Clarita, I can say that.
Okay. Santa Clarita, and those mountain range behind you with snow is definitely not from this year.
No, that is from 2023, but this is my background. This is what I get to look at every day.
You suck, dude. Goodbye. Bye-bye. All right, so we're going to do the show by myself now moving forward. Just kidding. So jealous. You got such a fantastic
Hey, 2 worst words in the world society. Petty jealousy. Come on.
It's all good, man. No, it looks great, man. It looks fantastic. Looks fantastic. All right. Javonte Williams,
Mm.
running back Denver Broncos, got injured a couple years ago, has never been the same, a la Terrell Davis. Never the same. You take a hit like that. Terrell Davis only had an ACL. Javonte Williams had an ACL, MCL, and LCL. Never the same. Listen to this. Javonte Williams' contract expires at the end of the NFL's 2024 league year end. That didn't end 2 weeks ago. That ends in March. March, when they do the new bargaining, the new contract, the new year moving forward, all of that stuff. It happens every year, okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's when Javonte Williams will become a free agent. Williams, therefore, will enter the offseason as an unrestricted free agent. Denver could bring him back if he isn't picked up by another team. Do you feel the Broncos want him back, or is he completely gone?
Gosh, I struggled reading this. I really struggled with it because you like the guy. You hope he has a great character. You don't hear anything bad about him, but injuries take a toll in this game. And you, unfortunately, I make a lot of business decisions for a lot of clients. Some are painful, some you have to make it. I just say this, Javonte Williams, thank you. We appreciate everything and wish you the best of luck. And let him go. You hate to do that, but that's business when it comes to football.
Do you think he gets picked up by another team anytime soon?
I hope he does.
Stills got cut on Tuesday, and he goes to Atlanta on Thursday.
I honestly, you know what? I hope Javonte Williams comes back, has success, and proves us wrong. I really hope so. But I will say this. On the
Bronco team or another team?
Any team.
Ooh. Okay, I'm just throwing this out there since the AFC West is just totally blown up today. And we'll get into that, like I mentioned, for all of you that didn't hear that earlier. If Javonte Williams goes to the Raiders or the Chargers or the Chiefs and blows up, like you said, it has a fantastic year, what's the Broncos thought after that?
Congratulations. Good for you. We made a bad choice, but no, you
would say that?
I would.
As an owner, wouldn't you feel, put yourself in Greg Penner's position.
Yeah,
you let him go. He goes to another team. He has success. They go to the playoffs. They go deep in the playoffs. Heaven forbid it goes to Super Bowl. But anyways, deep in the playoffs, and Denver's on the outside, like this year, looking in. Not that
you have to look at it today. That happens, great, but there's risk as we look at it today. Yeah. And which is higher, the rewards or the risk that we look at today? And right now, the risk is higher than the rewards. Yeah. So, from that perspective, you have to wish him well. Now,
so your opinion, you would rather cut him a year early than a year too late, because we've seen that in the NFL. Yeah.
We see, and nothing against the guy, and I hope for the best for him. And you know what? Things may work out where no one picks him up, and he comes back to us as a second stringer, and he helps and evolves. It just his performance and his play on the field the last 6 games was
atrocious.
Subpar.
Absolutely atrocious. All right, before we go into next topic, which is another injury related, Clayton Herron says, hey guys. I say, hey Clayton, what is up, my friend? He says, everyone do the Broncos breakdown, a tribute, not tribute, but a smash that like button and share it with your friends, your family, your enemies, your dogs, your cat, whomever. Just plug them in. We'd love to have it. Clayton, I'm going to tell you this. Each and every week you say this, and each and every week it touches my heart. It really does, because there's so many things you could be doing, or anybody out there could be doing on a Friday evening at 5:00 on a Pacific Coast time. Clayton says, great way to top, in capital letters, top off a Friday night, Bill. Thanks, bud. Absolutely. And Clayton, absolutely. Thank you so much. I know Spence says thank you as well.
Hey, Clayton, I know you mentioned to us that you had to lay off the alcohol for a while. I hope things are working out for you. You're feeling better. You're doing better. Cheers. This one's for you, my friend.
Way to go. Way to go. Paul Schaefer. Paul, have not seen you before. Love it, man. Thank you so much for being in the chat. Says at least we see what VJ can do with more players and our players developing under his system. Do you agree with that?
I think there's an opportunity here to do that. And we've watched VJ develop, get better. His man-to-man schemes are wonderful. When he plays zone, I just have to take the glasses off and don't look because his zone schemes are not working. So, Paul, I agree with you. This team, they've got to understand, just my opinion, they need linebackers. They need linebackers. The back end, I think they're good. They may need a safety. The front end, I think they're getting better. Linebackers.
Well, we're going to need a safety, and I'll get into that in a couple of topics here. There you go. Clayton says almost 3 years sober. Cheers. Way to go, Clayton.
Sober.
Way to go.
Clayton, I think you talked in one of your things that you and your buddies were having a few competitions. Am I mixing Clayton with someone else?
You
maybe
probably are, because Clayton's pretty solid at being sober for those years. Clayton, really do commend you for doing that, man. Absolutely commend you. Hey, I'm not going to fault anybody who feels that they need to do what they need to do. Absolutely. Hey, there you go. Hey, Cody, you're so brainy. Rudy Torres, my brother-in-law. I don't know where that came from, but whatever.
Rudy, my wife gets angry at me all the time. My neurons are firing way too fast in my brain. I've been diagnosed with an essential tremor in my hand, which is the opposite of Parkinson's, because
Holy crap. Who did I bring on this show? Some guy.
I just, you know what? I'm going too fast.
It's all good, dude. I do that same thing too. Sometimes my tongue will get tired and I'll just get all twisted up. Paul Schaefer says, true. I think Locke is getting a bad rap. He had a broken hand half the year. He is a great backup. Okay, well, we'll get into PJ Locke topic here in a couple of segments here. So,
Paul, but thank you for your feedback. Appreciate that. More input. We love hearing from you guys. We love hearing your comments, your opinions.
Absolutely. Keep them coming, man. Keep them coming. Because that's what we feed off, guys. We have topics. Yeah. We have topics that both Spence and I discussed before going on. But you guys have ideas. You guys have topics. You guys feel free to put it in there. We will talk about it. Just keep it clean. Keep it, respectful. And obviously we'll bring it up and we will talk about it. All right.
Yeah.
Now,
if we have to go on a tangent, lead the way, guys. We're going there.
Absolutely. All right. Jonah Ellis. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you guys realize this, but Jonah Ellis in the wild card game at Buffalo, rookie outside linebacker Jonah Ellis left the game with a shoulder injury. Okay. A little stinger, maybe a little separation. No. Not quite. Over the past weekend, last weekend, it turns out Ellis fractured his scapula. I guess that's up here in your shoulder somewhere. Scapula bone. Ellis's father, Luther, said of his son's injury, and I quote, this is crazy. And I quote, "It's just a broken bone." Huh? You lead, it's an outside linebacker. You lead with your shoulder, you block, you push your hand. Oh, it's just a broken bone. Ain't no big deal. No, that's not what he said. I'm still quoting. Let me go back. I'm quoting Luther Ellis, John Ellis's dad. He said, and I quote, "It's just a broken bone. So it's 6 weeks. He'll be back."
You know what?
What the heck? Really?
What the heck? But I will give you a historical thing. You remember, I'm aging both Bill and I. You remember Jack Youngblood, don't you?
Oh, yeah. LA Rams.
LA Rams played the entire playoffs with a broken leg.
Yeah.
divisional round,
But
championship
the
round,
NFL has
Super Bowl.
gotten flagged, has gotten it down to flag football. Don't touch me. Don't touch
Oh,
me.
no, oh my God. Oh, you touched Mahomes.
Yeah.
15-yard penalty.
Yeah. Now, to follow that up real quick, the article follows up by saying Ellis is just 20 years old, and the doctors say he should heal up and return for an active year 2 with the Broncos. So that's good news. But still, your dad comes out and says, hey, it's only a broken bone. What the fudge, dude? It's your son's shoulder. Can you have a little bit more sympathy, a little bit more understanding, a little bit more concern, a little bit more caring?
Well,
I'm
you
just
never know
saying.
what
I mean,
was.
what would you do if you had a son that seriously?
Yeah, my son is 8. My son is 10 years old, Aiden. He plays basketball. If he had a broken scapula, I'd be like, whoa, be sympathetic toward him. But you know what? Who knows where they're never heard of a bracken. Jeez. I cannot speak today.
Never heard of a broken scapula. Where is that anyways? It's got to be in the shoulder because they said he had a shoulder injury. It's not your rotator cuff. It's not your shoulder blade. It's not your. Where the heck would that be? Hang on. Let me look up, guys. I'm interested now. Hang on.
Me too. But
Okay, here we go. Okay, Google. Where is your scapula on your shoulder?
the chat's going to probably get it faster than
According
us.
to NCBI, the scapula or shoulder blade is the bone that connects the clavicle to the humerus. The
Ooh.
scapula forms the posterior of the shoulder girdle. It is a sturdy, flat, triangular bone. The scapula provides attachment to several groups of muscles.
Oh. Wow, that is a serious injury, dude. That is a serious injury. 6 weeks? I'm not giving it 6 weeks after that.
Hey, Paul beat us to it. Paul said the back, it's in your back. Good for you, Paul, for knowing that.
Yeah, way to go, Paul. Probably looked it up quicker than we did. Or maybe he's a doctor. I don't know.
No,
Paul, are you a doctor? You could be. But that's more than just a shoulder injury, dude. That's serious. And do you give him 6 weeks? I don't.
No, I don't either.
Wow.
Because you've got to reset both the shoulder and you got to reset the back. You wish.
He says he wishes he was a doctor. That's good, man. Rudy, you did not know that. Get out of here. Rudy says, I knew that.
No, he said, I knew that. That's something new for Rudy.
Oh, got it. That's something new. You're right. But I mean, 6 weeks. I can understand 6 weeks if you have a high ankle sprain or you have maybe a calf injury or maybe a hamstring. But this torn with all those muscles around it, I'm not giving it 6 weeks, dude.
No. I mean, 6 weeks for a shoulder. It's a bone in the shoulder that has to heal. Then you've got to get the muscles going. You have to get.
And he's an outside linebacker. How's he going to go against these big guys that if he know they obviously know he's going to have that injury. I mean, it's out there.
But you know what? 6 weeks, great. Take 6 months. You've got the entire off season. Figure it out.
Off season is what? So we're in January. They got February, March, April, May, June, July is when they come back. And August. Yeah. Okay. All right. Dude. All right. You nailed it. 6. Okay.
Rudy.
Rudy, he ain't got no hemorrhoids. What the fudge? Hemorrhoids are not in your shoulder. Okay. Now, if you had hemorrhoids, you could come back in 6 weeks, maybe. I don't know, man. That's painful. Rudy, you got to understand my brother-in-law. He's out there. He's
I know. Well, that's why I appreciate him. He's out there, you know.
Well, he's out there, all right.
You got to have
out
us
there enjoying himself. Okay, guys, we're going to get into the meat of the show. We're starting off with the first of 1, 2, 3, 4 new hires.
Mm-hmm.
This is where the AFC West changes along with other teams. And here's the very first one. Here we go. The Detroit Lions were drastically upset by the Washington Redskins. I mean, Commanders this past weekend. One of their coaches has been fleeced. Here it is. Vance Joseph will not be the Jets' new head coach. Who will? However, that honor, quote honor, because I'm not sure you'd want to do it, but that honor goes to the Lions defensive coordinator, Aaron Glenn. Glenn served as the Jets' personal scout in 1994 and now becomes their new head coach. Terms of the contract were not revealed, but it is a 5-year contract. Holy smokes. Does that hurt the Lions more or benefit the Jets more? What do you say?
Benefits the Jets more because you're bringing someone who played for the Jets, who had experience with the Jets. Glenn played, I think it was 5 or 6 years with the Jets. He might have played more or less, but he knows the team. He knows the organization. He's been a part of it. Now, there was a different owner when he played back in the 80s and 90s, and they went through the evolution. A great ESPN 30 for 30, but you guys can watch that later. I will say this. You bring a former Jet who knows or supports the organization, knows the historical sense of the Jets. You bring him in. I wish him the best of luck. It's a mess there in New York, so he's got a big chore on hand. So let him go fix that mess. This helps Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell is the Detroit.
No, the Jets head coach is Vrabel.
No, I mean, this helps Dan
I'm
Campbell.
sorry. That's New England is Vrabel. Never mind. Yeah.
Detroit's head coach, Dan Campbell. Because the defense.
Well, I'm all screwed up, ain't I? I don't even know who,
It's Friday night. We're all screwed up. We're all screwed up on Friday nights. That's why we have our happy hour beer.
All right, I could continue on because
But this helps Dan. The one thing that hindered Detroit was their defense. So Aaron Glenn had tons of injuries, had the first part of the year, had great schemes and everything, but had horrible injuries. So now Dan Campbell gets to rejigger and revamp his defensive backfield, his defensive coordinator, his defensive team. I think this is a win-win for both.
Okay. I don't know who Detroit brings in, but I don't really care because I want the Vikings to win that division and move on.
Gee.
I know. Hey,
we know
that's my NFC team. That's my NFC team.
Hey, I agree with you. That's a dream Super Bowl for me is the Rams versus the Broncos. For you is the Vikings versus the Broncos.
Yep. Couldn't lose. Paul Schaefer, you were jumping the gun. We're going to get into that. So the AFC West is stacked with great coaches. We will get into that. I've got 2 more quick hiring topics before we get into that. Okay. But Paul, hang on. It's going to be a doozy. We want you guys in the chat to say whatever you want to say. We are going to expand on that big time. All right. Speaking of head coaches, speaking of Denver Broncos head coaches and Raider head coaches, this is it. The New England Patriots are bringing back a familiar coach, former Broncos head coach. Who would that be? That is also former Raiders head coach. Yeah. Josh McDaniels has returned to the New England Patriots as their new as new head coach. Mike Vrabel wants familiar people on his team. McDaniels will be the offensive coordinator for the 3rd time. After a failed head coach in Denver, after a failed head coach in New England, apparently is Josh McDaniels the modern day come on, Bill, think. The one that Wade Phillips. Is he the modern day Wade Phillips, where he's horrible at head coaching, but fantastic at offensive coordinator?
You know what? I dedicate this next statement to my good friend who's no longer with us, John Whiting. Nope. 0. All right. Josh McDaniels, go back to New England. Is Tom Brady there? No. You think you're going to succeed? No. Just go. You know what, Paul?
dummy.
You're 100% right. Josh McDaniels got his success by one person, and that's Tom Brady. There's no Tom Brady there. There's nothing like that. You know what? You ruined the Broncos. Just next up.
Hey. He drafted Tim Tebow. That's one of my favorite quarterbacks, obviously.
Hey,
Honestly,
okay.
Everybody knows.
Okay.
I love Tim Tebow. Absolutely loved his energy. And you know what? In a lot of ways, not exactly, but in a lot of ways, Bo Nix reminds me of Tim Tebow. All that heart, all that drive, all that energy, all that emotion. Not as much as Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow was like, let's go, let's go, let's go. That's what I love. I love that energy. I mean, maybe I need some energy. I don't have that much energy when I do this show. Maybe I need more Tim Tebow energy. I'm not sure. What do you think? Think I need to amp it up, or am I okay?
Up the voltage. Paul, you're 100% correct.
Paul Sherrod said, read my mind, Kona. What's up, D-Rock?
You know what? John.
And Tom Brady is, Rudy is correct. Tom Brady is a minority owner of the Raiders. Do you think he has any influence whatsoever? Now, if you're a minority, I don't know what percentage, but let's say he's only a 10% owner. Are you going to listen to a 10% owner whose name is Tom Brady?
If you make money. Okay. It's Mark Davis, I believe, is the son who runs the team. Yep. He does not have the football acumen his dad does. Zero, nada. You bring Tom Brady in, who takes care of the football acumen. Mark can just go, okay, I'll just enjoy the money. You know, that's the only reason that Tom Brady got ownership, is that Mark doesn't care.
Bring in a football mind. You bring
the football mind in, who takes care of the money for Mark. Wouldn't it be great? I would just say this. Did you see
Paul Schaefer? Did you see Tebow's commercial? He throws cheese points. What? Oh, man. It just.
Hang on. Go back to a few comments. Rudy has a colorful metaphor he needs to.
Which is where? This one?
Yes.
What's that to?
I don't know.
Rudy, what'd you put that in there for?
So
I can tell you, Rudy, he's in his own little world, man.
But I will say this: bringing Tom Brady in helps make Mark more money. That's all.
Just the name alone.
Just the name.
7 Super Bowl rings.
And Mark doesn't have to think about. Mark can just go sit on the golf course, be lazy, make his millions, not have to do anything. It's just like, yeah, Tom, go do that. Go. Just like I have, Rudy, I can't remember either. I have other family members who do this. Just go, Spencer, you do it. You take care of it, Spencer. My son Aiden's watching. Aiden, don't you ever have that attitude. We're always doers in this family. Just on a tangent, my dad won the Doers Award, I think back in 1981, which was a prestigious award, being a toy inventor. So I am. Nice.
Hey, real quick, what did he invent?
Microvision, Vectrex. He contributed to Simon. Had a few other video games.
Wow.
So my dad, 85 years strong, up in Colorado, up in the mountains, still goes walking. So, Dad, if you're watching, I hope you got your beer or your red wine and you're enjoying things. But my dad's up in Colorado loving life right now.
Nice. Sweet, man. All right. Another hire. AFC West. Not the big one, but in my opinion, just as important. All right? Again, from the Las Vegas Raiders, they have kicked Tom Telesco to the curb. They have hired and finalized a deal that brought former Tampa Bay GM John Spytek as the Raiders' new GM per Adam Schefter. Now, on the prefaces of the next major hire by the Raiders, I ask you this. Where does this put the Raiders? Not talking about the next one. Where does this put the Raiders in terms of GM when Tom Telesco ruined the Chargers, ruined the Raiders? Where does that put the Raiders now as their GM?
You know what? He doesn't have the best track record, so you wonder why he went down to Tampa Bay and became good friends with Tom Brady. Why is Brady bringing him here if he doesn't have that proven track record? So there's got to be something.
You think that was a Brady hire?
Obviously, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if like I said earlier, Brady is doing the football acumen here and doing the football hires, and this guy comes in, I don't know.
So Tom Telesco obviously wouldn't have been any better because he hasn't been.
Well, here's the thing. Who did Tom Brady trust the most during his tenure? Who did he have the best relationship with in New England or in Tampa?
Belichick.
No, from a GM business perspective.
I don't know who the GM was in Tampa. I mean, in New England.
I don't either. But that is where we're getting at. Tom Brady's trying to put responsible people in the right place.
All right, so let me ask you this, and this goes back to John Elway as GM, and I think this is very important. John Elway, quarterback, Hall of Fame quarterback, multiple Super Bowl championship quarterback, GM. Tom Brady, quarterback, multiple Super Bowl championships, not GM, but part owner. Does this smell an awful lot like mistakes that John Elway made trying to get that perfect prototype of himself? Do you think Tom Brady's trying to get that perfect prototype of what he had in New England? It sure sounds like it by what you're saying.
Yes, I agree. Because when you have the success Tom Brady has, now you want to take it to another level. You want to take it from being the QB. You want to take it to being in management, like John Elway tried to do or did. I got to give him credit. He got Peyton Manning here, and we got a Super Bowl. Now Tom Brady's trying to take it to an ownership level. Can he take it to that level where he brings in the right business people to make the right football decisions?
Good point. Good point. Now we are going to get to the main topic of this show. Guys, please flood the chat. We want to hear what you have to say. This is an absolute breaking news from today. This is huge in the AFC West. Here it is. Las Vegas,
and our show for the MHRT gets to break it. Yes,
exactly.
That is us.
Yes, that's what they call it, broken breakdown. Anyways, the Las Vegas Raiders have hired a new head coach, but a very familiar one as well. The reason why I paused was I wanted to see if anybody was going to chime in. Here it is. The Raiders have signed Super Bowl winning head coach Pete Carroll to a 3-year deal with a 4th-year option. The amount of the contract wasn't disclosed, however. With the addition of Pete Carroll, the AFC West just got a lot harder. Here it is. These are the head coaches in the AFC West. Kansas City, Super Bowl champion Andy Reid. Denver Broncos, Super Bowl champion Sean Payton. Raiders, head coach, Super Bowl champion Pete Carroll. Chargers head coach Jim Harbaugh. Not a championship yet.
Not yet, but
hopefully never.
Sean Payton now just became the youngest coach in the AFC West at 61. Even though Harbaugh's 61, I think Harbaugh's a few months older than him. Oh my Lord. This just became it. Forgive
What
me.
is this? What does this do to the AFC West? We were already a strong division. Now we got 4 solid head coaches, 4 solid organizations that are going to absolutely disrupt the entire NFL. Not only their own division, we got to play the Raiders twice now with Pete Carroll. We got to play the Chargers twice now with Jim Harbaugh. We have to play the Chiefs twice that have had Andy Reid. What in heaven's name is this going to do to the AFC West? Is it going to make it better? In my opinion, it's going to make it worse. It's going to diminish it.
What? It's going to make it must-watch TV. It's going to make all those 1 o'clock games here on the West Coast between interdivisional rivals must-watch TV. I mean, the Raiders, commend you guys. Overpay, get someone in there who has the energy and the experience.
But has the game passed Pete Carroll by? Just like a lot of people are saying, it has passed Sean Payton by.
No, you want to know what Pete Carroll does? He puts the right coordinators in the right position. Pete Carroll is going to be the rah-rah guy. He is going to be the energy. He's going to be everybody on the same page. He's going to let the coordinators do their job. This is where now I want to see who he's going to hire or who he's going to put in as offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator.
I just thought of something.
Yeah.
I just saw that. This is a weird twist. This goes back years, but this is a weird twist. Tom Brady and the Patriots played the Seattle Seahawks in the Super Bowl against Pete Carroll, and he made that drastic mistake by throwing the ball, and it was intercepted by the Patriots. Do you think that why would Tom Brady be anywhere near wanting to hire Pete Carroll knowing that? Makes weird mistakes.
Seattle had a great record against the Patriots. I didn't finish looking them up, but I think during that tenure, Seattle gave the Patriots trouble during those games. I remember in a football pool that the Patriots were favored by several points going to Seattle and won outright. I think you put a great leader, not a football mastermind, a great leader in a head coach position, and they will come. And that's why I said, now let's see who's going to get his offensive coordinator. Who's he going to get his defensive coordinator? You've got a nucleus with the Raiders that they can build on. Oh, sorry, Paul.
Cheers to Spence, he said. Okay. So here's my question moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
2 years ago, okay, first off, Kansas City's had what the heck's their head coach again? Andy Reid. Kansas City's had Andy Reid for several years. 2 years ago, the Broncos anteed up the AFC West by getting Sean Payton. Last year, the Chargers upped it one more by getting Jim Harbaugh. And now the Raiders up it a third time to get Pete Carroll. Where does this take the AFC West moving forward? What do you see? What do you see happening?
This is must-watch TV. This is going to be
no. But what I'm saying, what do you see as far as structure? Are the Raiders in last place anymore? Are the Broncos in second? How does it shape out? Does everybody end up tying?
I'll tell you right now. In my personal opinion, I think Kansas City's hit their plateau and they're on a slow decline right now. All those contracts they had to overpay for, and people, they're going to be in salary cap trouble. But I think they're on a slow decline. The Chargers definitely heading up. The Broncos definitely heading up. Raiders, they're going to probably take a year or two, but they're going to start heading up. This is must-watch TV because every week you're going to see incredible matchups. I will tell you this, the matchup that's going to be bona fide every single year is going to make you happy, Chargers, Broncos. Because I think out of the 14...
Why is that making me happy? Because I hate the Chargers. Anyways, go on.
Shh, we know you love them.
Oh, God. Spence is about ready to get his last show on this. Anyways.
I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. No, hey, you know what? I have to say that because my son is a
I know.
monstrous
I know.
Chargers fan.
I know. He must be hating the fact that
And-
Pete Carroll went to the Raiders.
And I'll
Just
tell
like
you this,
everybody else.
my household, I kid you not, everybody in my household is a different supporter of the AFC West.
Madunga says, I forgot to put your topics in the scroll. I failed you. I'm quitting forever. You're not quitting, dude. It's all good. I just put the other thing in there. It's all good, man. Hey, don't worry about it.
Drink a beer and be happy.
We just roll with it, dude. We just roll with it. Ain't no big deal. Okay,
think my household. I'm a huge Broncos fan. My son is a huge Chargers fan. My daughter is a huge Chiefs fan because of Taylor Swift. Okay, and my wife's a Raiders fan.
Holy crap, dude! And you married into that family?
I married into this family and had 2 kids. Now, granted, when Taylor Swift dumps Travis Kelce, she'll go and back being a Bronco fan.
Oh, so it's only because of Taylor Swift.
That's my daughter.
Yeah. That's why the NFL loves having her there, because of people like that. I mean, it's a win-win for the NFL. That's why they keep it going. I wouldn't doubt it one bit. Okay, now going towards the upcoming NFL primetime schedule, can you see that the Broncos, Raiders, Chargers, and Chiefs are going to dominate primetime? I mean, if the Chiefs play the Raiders with Pete Carroll, come on, man. Broncos play the Raiders with Pete Carroll. Broncos play the Chargers with Jim Harbaugh. We saw that this past season. Excuse me. Chiefs playing the Broncos primetime. It's going to be a primetime West Coast show.
I will tell you right now, everybody at Amazon is probably going, oh, we need all those matchups here. We need Chiefs, Raiders.
We don't have a picture to prove nothing. I know he's going to jump in here and show it. I know it. I just have a bad feeling because Madungus does some magic behind the scenes.
But anyway. the AFC West has become probably the most recognizable division west of the Mississippi River. East of the Mississippi River, it's probably the AFC North with Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Cincinnati, and Baltimore.
Buffalo could be the East. Buffalo, Miami, New England, Jets. Not so much.
Not so much.
No, not so much. Okay. On a little footnote, and I know this is off topic, but that's what the show does all the time because I get things pop in my head, so I want to say them. When the people said that nobody wanted to see the Broncos in the playoffs, and then they were one and done with Buffalo, do you think that it would have been better suited to have the Bengals in there?
No. Okay. You know what? And the Broncos needed that for their own helping of their culture. I think they took a big step forward, making the playoffs. Yes, I have said that here on this program that they had a easier time schedule, but this is how you take a step forward. You make the playoffs.
Well, you gotta beat the team, or you gotta play the teams that are on your schedule. I mean, no team goes in there going, well, we have a pancake schedule. They didn't design it. They come from the NFL. They come from the standings.
Now, but this next season, this is going to tell they're going to have a little bit more difficult schedule. They're not going against the NFC South. They're going to go against the NFC East and face Dallas, Washington, Philadelphia, and the Giants. So it's going to be a little bit tougher with Dallas or with
Washington came out of nowhere this year. I mean, seriously.
I will tell you this, that Hail Mary game that Washington had against Chicago changed the lives of both of those teams because Chicago went and Washington went like that.
Yep.
And the real Caleb Williams came out after that game. And
Yep. All right. Now, one final thing you want to say about the AFC West and Pete Carroll going to the Raiders. The one thing that I'm going to say is how much you want to bet that the Raiders get a primetime game within the first month of the season.
I will tell you this. I'm not going to make that bet or place a wager on that until I see their draft or who they get in free agency, because they need a quarterback right now.
Mm-hmm.
And until they get a quarterback, wouldn't it be interesting if the Steelers got rid of Russell Wilson and he went into Las Vegas?
Wow. I never thought of that, man. That would be absolutely crazy. And what would be even more crazy, and obviously a dagger to the Broncos' heart, is if he played against the Broncos and just wiped the floor with us.
No, our defense would destroy.
I know, but I'm just saying. I'm just throwing out the what if.
Oh,
you know?
Hang on. We got to cheer Zach. He's the happiest guy right now.
Raider Zach says, "What's up, fellas?" Raider Zach, let me ask you this: We've been on this topic here for the last 5-10 minutes, which is well worth it because you now have, as a Raider fan, you now have a Super Bowl-minded head coach in Pete Carroll. What are your thoughts moving forward with Pete Carroll as a Raiders head coach, given the strength of the AFC West? I want to find out what you think about that, Zach. I really do appreciate it. Seriously, we will comment on it. We give you your platform. We give you your right to free speech. That's what we do here. Just keep it level, keep it honest, which we know you will. But just want to know what your thoughts are.
And so, how many beers you've had so far that you're so excited of this new head coach hire?
So the Broncos had a prime time last year early on because of Sean Payton and Bo Nix, right? We had that early on. Do the Raiders get the same treatment from the NFL, or does the NFL have still a little bit of a bias against the Raiders? Because you don't think so? I think
with Tom Brady coming in now, I think that bias is kind of pushed aside a little bit.
Because that whole Al Davis thing just didn't run the NFL too well.
Al Davis created all the controversy. He was trying to rebrand or increase the branding of the Raiders. He wanted to get his way. And Raider, Zach, correct me if I'm wrong, Mark Davis, I don't think cares as much. He just cares about this, the machismo. So please, Raider Zach, bring that opinion, because you don't see Mark Davis out there. You don't see him trying to promote the Raiders like Al Davis did. You don't see him trying to rile up the crowd, get the energy going. You don't see him trying to promote. So that's why I think, here we go. Bring Zach's comment in.
All right. Raider Zach says, we have an actual coach, like a real coach, ! That's my first thought. No bruise yet at work. No bruise yet because he's at work. Extremely happy we won't compete until quarterback secure. That's what you were saying. That's what you were saying there, Spence. So Raider Zach, obviously he's thrilled. He's excited. I would be too. When we got Sean Payton, we were the same way. I wonder where the Raiders are going to draft. And I wonder if there's any qualified quarterbacks out there that would be a, quote, franchise quarterback. Or do the Raiders go, and I know this ain't Raider talk, but it's football talk. I said at the beginning, Bronco fans and football fans everywhere. So that's what we cover. AFC West as well. Do the Raiders make a trade? Like you said, maybe they go out and get a Russell Wilson if he's a free agent. That's mind-boggling to think that. That would be interesting. That would be extremely, extremely interesting. Wow. Like to get your thoughts on that, Raider Zach. And by the way, thank you so much for chiming in. Really appreciate everybody that chimes in. Absolutely. You can be a fan of any NFL football team. We don't care. We welcome everybody. This is an open show. You guys can chime in with any one of your favorite teams and comments. Raider Zach follows up by saying Mark is 100% all in on winning. He's just done a poor job, but that's why he's taking a backseat to Tom Brady. That's exactly what you said, Spence. Letting him run the show and direct our franchise. There you go. Spence, you go ahead and take the rest of the show. I think I'm done.
So let me say this. The Raiders are drafting 6th, and there's one forecast I look at that they're going after the QB from Colorado, Sanders.
Yep. Deion Sanders' son.
The only quarterback of any value that I see is, I believe it's Cam Ward from Miami. That's the only quarterback who I see of value, and they're predicting that he'll go third to the Giants. So do the Raiders try to move up to number 2 with Cleveland to try to get that pick and jump in front of them, because they're not going to get Tennessee's number 1 pick. So maybe if you're going young and you want Cam Ward, you got to get Cleveland's number 2 pick.
Wow. Great insight, Spence, on what Raider Zach said. You said that about 15, 20 minutes ago. So that's a great point, man. Great point. All right. Moving on. We are at the 1 hour, 1 minute witching hour. This is where the show starts to wrap up. Thank you so very, very much for being in the chat, being on the show, wherever you may be, watching, listening, in any part of this great country of ours we call the United States of America, as well as other countries. We have people from Germany, Australia, Canada, England. We welcome each and every one of you every single week. Thank you so very, very much. Raider Zach follows up by saying Jackson Dart, Schroeder Sanders, Cam Ward, all possibilities at quarterback. Who would you like, Spence, of those 3?
Cam Ward. No, the other 2, no thank you. Cam Ward has proven himself with Miami. Just the grit that he has in the 3rd and 4th quarter.
Raider Zach, you put one word in there that doesn't equate to a horse. A donkey is not a horse, but I will give you the fact that you can go ahead and say that. Just want to get back to beating the Broncos. Laugh out loud. Great show, guys. Thank you so much, Zach. Really do appreciate you chiming in. I appreciate your comments. Like I said, you can comment all you want. Just had to clarify that a donkey and a horse are similar, to just not exactly. All respect to the Broncos. Thank you so much, Zach. Hey, you know what? I have nothing against Raider fans. Raider fans show up. Those guys. Let me ask you this, Zach, real quick. All right, let me ask you this. Have you ever dressed up and gone to an NFL game, driving down the street in your car with spikes coming off your shoulders and some crazy face mask thing? Dude, you cannot do that in Compton. I guarantee. Don't do it in Compton. Oh, well, maybe you could, because then you might be part of them. But what I'm saying is, have you ever thought of doing that? I've never thought of. To me, I'd be. I don't know, man. I don't know. Have you ever thought of dressing up like? Or maybe you do. I don't know.
He's probably the guy. He might be the guy who does that.
Might be the guy. But if he is, what prompts you, or what prompts a person? Let me put that. What prompts a person to go out and put all of this garb on, all this gear on, which is fantastic, looks really great, I have to admit. But how long would it take to do that? And then you got to drive that way? Or do you get to the stadium and then put all of this on? I don't know. I've never done it. What you see is what you get. It's basically the way I go to a game. Well, not with Bronco Breakdown, but my Bronco jersey, that kind of. I'm just curious because I would have to say I'm in awe of these guys, seriously, because they do it each and every week. Go
to Jack. Start at the first
Jack,
one.
Hello, gentlemen. How you doing, Jack? Nice to have you. You got a buddy in there called Raider Zach, so you guys are buddies there. Zach shows up on Wow Wow Let's Show. Oh, okay. All right, okay. Sweet, man. All right, nice to know that. Thank you so much. Jack says, Bill and Spence, let's go Bills. Go this week for. Oh, absolutely. We're gonna touch into that at the end of the show. Okay. Right at the very last one, we'll comment on our picks for this weekend's championship games. Raider Zach follows up, says, live in India. Live in Indy, not India. Sorry about that. Oh my gosh, it's a Friday night. Live in Indianapolis. Go to all the games I can. No spikes. Raising my 12-year-old son to keep Raiders tradition alive. Okay, when you mean Raiders tradition, are you talking about just going to the games, following the team, that kind of thing? Or are you talking about actually getting into that type of dress look and that, because I'm amazed. I really am. I mean, I see Bronco fans out there with these, beads hanging down and got a big old thing hanging down, whatever. I mean, that's fine. But going in there with spikes, I mean, I don't know, man. That just, I think if I showed up something like that, they'd be going, come here, yeah. This is not your seat. I wouldn't be Bob Uecker going, I must be in the front row. I must be in the jail cell. That's where I'm going if I show up like that. Let's see. Madungus says, Mikko Rantanen was traded to the Hurricanes? No freaking way. Madungus, you have got to be kidding me. I know this is a brother. Whoa, this is huge. Mikko Rantanen was traded to the Hurricanes?
Go Kings, go. Go Kings, go. Go Kings, go. Sorry, I got to be an LA guy. Even though my heart is in Colorado. And fans, Bill, I know you love your Avalanche, but I can't. I just can't. They're the Quebec Nordiques. And my personal friends know why I can't support the Avalanche, and they're all respectful. So, huge breaking news here on the MHRT network. Mikko is traded to the Hurricanes. All right, now back to the show. All right.
I am absolutely devastated. I am absolutely crushed because we don't have. I know. Again, it's about the Avalanche. It's about Colorado. Gabriel Landeskog has not come back yet. Don't know if he ever will. We just lost. Who's the other guy? Not Arturi Lehkonen. Guy, he fell off the wagon again. What was his name? Anyways, he's on the front line with Nathan McKinnon. We lost him. He's back off of the team due to falling off the wagon. Now we got Mikko Rantanen traded to the Hurricanes. What in heaven's name are the Avalanche doing? They're right there, so freaking close. They're within 10 points of first place. And God,
they're within 9 points.
9 points.
But hey, look at it this way. What did they get back? Look at it this way. Avs get Nikas and Kotanami.
Who are these freaking freaks?
I don't know, but you're more into the hockey than I am. All right.
Madungus should have said that at the end of the show. I've lost all my energy.
All right. Then how about this? Let's talk about the AFC NFC championship games this week. While you get your breath, I'll talk about it because I know a few people have said rooting for Buffalo. I will tell you this. I am hugely rooting for Buffalo. This game is the media and social media versus America. We've had enough of the Chiefs. We've had enough of them being loved by the media. We've had enough of them being loved by social media. The Buffalo Bills deserve it. America wants them to win a Super Bowl. America wants to see them take this big step. Josh Allen, I'll tell you right now, plays those last 13 seconds in his head every single day. He is going to come into Kansas City, and I'm telling you right now, Buffalo 31, Kansas City 17. Buffalo wants this game more passionately. Kansas City has gotten away with so many wins this year. Plus, remember, they played against each other, I believe it was week 11 or 12 up in Buffalo, and Buffalo manhandled them, had them. So I love Buffalo. I think it's still a 2-point spread. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm checking on it right now. Tell me who you guys love in the chat. I know Jack just says at Bill, you want to hear some predictions from the Wild Wild West show? Bring it.
Yeah, sure. Go for it. I'm just still stunned, guys. I'm going to
bring it. I will tell you this right now. Yes, KC is still favored by 2 points. I think Buffalo goes in there and exacts revenge. Buffalo everything has been focused on Kansas City. Kansas City. You want to take that next step, you've got to get the champion off their throne. They manhandled Baltimore for most of that game. Baltimore made a comeback. I feel bad for the guy who dropped that touchdown or that 2-point conversion for the Bills. He's admitted and did all this.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But Buffalo has the momentum. And I still think Buffalo is mad at last year. They had KC in the divisional round at home. They had everything working for them, and they came out flat. If there is ever a team that is destined, it's Buffalo. So media, you guys, all social media, you just love your Kansas City. When the game's over, America is going to be rooting and cheering for Buffalo going to the Super Bowl. As for the NFC, I will tell you this. I am on the Washington Commanders bandwagon. Yes, Philadelphia is got more of the momentum, but I think if you guys watch that injury again to the Phillies quarterback, I think he's torn an MCL. I really seriously think that.
Oh, Eagles?
Yeah. I'm on
Thanks, show. Hang on real quick. Thanks a lot, Raider and Zach. He says, great show, guys. Really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate it.
Really appreciate it. And seeing in the chat here, everybody, please, Buffalo. Yep. America is rooting for Buffalo. Neighbors are rooting for Buffalo. People are gambling for Buffalo. We need Buffalo. Hurts is hurt. Yeah. So that takes him out of his offensive ability, his mobility. Look at the end of that game against Green Bay. He went back to pass and could not move.
Let me throw this in there. Raider Zach says something very important. I'm getting past that whole Miko Rantanen thing. I'll dive in that later. I don't understand that move. Anyways, Raider Zach says, please, Buffalo. If not this year, it will never happen. Do you think that Buffalo is snake bit for the entire franchise? They went 4 and out in 4 straight Super Bowls. Put it on. Who's the one that missed the kick?
Jim Kelly.
No. Who's the one that missed the kick?
Field
goal.
Super Bowl 25 against the Giants.
It was. I can see him.
You know
what? Me nuts. Come on, guys. Anyways, when he missed that field goal, in my opinion, that deflated them for every time they went in the game. I mean, the following years when they went in the Super Bowl. If Buffalo loses again to Kansas City in the championship game and does not advance to the Super Bowl, or if they even get to the Super Bowl and lose, are they emotionally done as a franchise forever?
No. Their value is up. They keep going up. They've made great trades this year to improve their stock. As long as Josh Allen is there and he has all of the manhood and all of the proxy to keep going. Paul, you just took my Bills deserve a championship, and it takes some sting from the Broncos' loss. Bills deserve this. I will tell you right now, I'm going to say this. When the Bills make the Super Bowl, everybody from all those 90s teams will be coming and getting on field, and there is going to be a momentum there. I will say this right now. Whatever the Bills' odds are, you know what, honey? I'm throwing 100 on the Bills to win the Super Bowl right now. There's 4 teams left. I think they have the momentum. They have everything on there. You can yell at me when I lose it, but the Bills.
Hey, Anna, if you're listening, I hope you got some backup money.
She does, because I'm rich.
Oh.
No, I'm not. I'm rich with love.
Hey, Anna, if you heard that, take that one to the bank.
No. If I was rich, she'd be out shopping right now. In fact, I just heard the front door open. So,
there you go. She's on.
I gotta look at my credit card bill. Okay.
You let the cat out of the bag when you.
Let's see. Macy's. Oh gosh. Yeah. $500 for kids'
Now
makeup.
Madungus Creevy, because I looked it up, we did not trade Miko Rantanen.
He's trying to get
We
you
did
to
not
react.
trade PS2 to the Buffalo Bills. Now I know it was. God, he got me going, dude, because I was freaking out. If Miko Rantanen was traded anywhere, I would lose my. Well, you saw I did lose my mind. Look at Madungus. God, I am so gullible. I've always been that way my whole life.
Jack needs score predictions. So, Jack, I'll go first. Jack, Buffalo.
Yeah, I know. Thanks, Madungus.
Buffalo 31, Kansas City 21. And in the Washington Commanders game, Washington 35, Philadelphia 17. I think it's a blowout.
Wow.
Philly's quarterback can't move, and Washington did a good job against.
I haven't seen it yet, Madungus. If I don't see it, I'm not believing it. I haven't found it anywhere yet. If that's true, I am going to throw up. Seriously, that is a horrible move. Miko Rantanen is an amazing player on the Avalanche, and I'll be pissed. If he's gone, I'll be pissed. I will absolutely lose my freaking mind when we play tomorrow night at Boston. By the way, that was a plug for you guys who want to watch Avalanche game. Okay.
52 minutes ago,
Buffalo.
it's confirmed.
Huh?
52 minutes ago, it's confirmed by the Denver Post. That's the Denver Post calling for your comment. Or is it? No, it's actually Walmart calling for you to accept my delivery of a 24-pack because I'm almost out.
No, seriously, Spence, is it confirmed?
It is confirmed.
It's legit.
It is legit.
Who'd we get?
Let's see. A three-way trade involving the Blackhawks, Colorado, and Carolina. Martin Nikas is coming to Colorado as part of the deal.
Martin who?
Nikas, Necas.
From where?
From Hurricane. He's having a breakout season for the Hurricane. He's a 6'3" wing. He has 16 goals and 55 points in 49 games. Rantanen is in the final year of his contract. He's coming to the team.
No, Miko Rantanen was going to Carolina.
Oh, yep. That's it. So, all right. Hey.
All right. Well, I'll get back my energy because nothing I can do about it now. But
hey, breathe in, breathe out. You know what? Think of it as this way. It's a loss, but it's a help for the team. They're in the playoff contention. I mean, where's Florida? The Kings just beat the Florida Panthers. Yes, Broncos breakdown just turned into hockey breakdown.
Okay, here it is. I'm gonna bring this up just because we'll finalize this thing. But Douglas just sent this to me. Here it is. Miko Rantanen is traded from Colorado to Carolina, massive three-way deal after his camp and Avs could not come close to an extension for after this season. That's what I'm afraid of with Nick Bonito. That's what I'm afraid of. Martin Nikas, Jack Drury to the Avs, and Tyler Hall to the Carolina Canes as Chicago acts as a broker. There you go.
Paul, you and I are on the same thing. Ooh, Jack.
So they could not come up with a contract extension to make it happen. Wow.
I love Jack with the shootout score. 37-35. Bills.
They can either cheap ass penalties on both teams to drive up the score. Bills 37, Kansas City 35. So I say Buffalo is at Kansas City. Buffalo's had a tough time against Kansas City. Kansas City is Kansas City. Kansas City has the refs. Kansas City has Taylor Swift. Kansas City has Travis Kelce. Kansas City has the entire NFL brass. Kansas City 32, Buffalo 27. Not that I want it, but I think that's what's going to happen. I think Kansas City wins.
You know, why do I get the feeling there is going to be some ref?
Yep, you're right, Paul. Hit the crap out of Mahomes. You still get a flag either way.
Oh, if you touch Mahomes, the old Brady rules.
Don't breathe on him, whatever you do.
Don't breathe on him. He just threw the pass. Oh, that's 15-yard penalty.
Well, you know why? He'll take a flop. He'll just
Jack has 28-27, and the Bills still covering.
But Dungus has 31-28.
31-28. Madungus, I went 31-21, Buffalo.
Okay, let's go to the NFC real quick, and then we'll get the last 4 topics. And
I think I said it would be a blowout. I think I said 35-17, Washington.
I'm going to say it's at Philadelphia. Washington played great. I'm just saying Washington played their Super Bowl last week. By beating Detroit, the number 1 team in the NFC, that was Washington Redskins. Commanders Super Bowl. Going into Philadelphia, I think they're going to have a letdown of sorts. It's not going to be big. It'll be a little letdown, but Philadelphia and Washington know each other very well. Same division. They play each other twice a year. That being said, Philadelphia comes out on top. 27-24 Philadelphia.
Jalen Hurts, I'm telling you right now, watch that injury he had again and how his knee got hyperextended. But if
he's listed as good to go, then
well, they're promoting it, but wait until Washington's defense starts putting pressure on him. He cannot run and cut up the field. I think Washington runs away with it.
Okay. All right. As we get closer to an hour and a half, we want to try and wrap this up rather quickly, not to stretch it into past the 1.5 hour mark. So let's do what I call the fastest 4 last topics. Read it, brief it, and then we'll head on. How's that?
Sounds good.
PJ Locke. Denver starting safety PJ Locke was listed as a possible salary cap casualty when the 2025 league year begins. Locke is due $2.99 million base salary for the 2025 season. However, Denver could save $4.19 million if they release him prior to June 1st. That would only take a $1 million salary cap hit. Do the Broncos release him and take that $1 million, or what do they do?
I struggled with this one when you put this topic in front of me, because from a business perspective, does the value he have meet the release value and the hit you have? No. Now, can you find someone to replace him or be give you better value? I don't know. So this one,
there you go.
Paul save $1 million is
not worth the
squeeze. Paul, I struggled with this because honestly, if there's someone better that Sean Payton has, then do it.
Yep. Jack Hansen's AFC West now has the oldest and all head coaches in the league, all winning the Super Bowl except Harbaugh. That's what we mentioned earlier. Absolutely.
But Harbaugh has probably the better machismo.
Paul Schaefer says, wait a minute, where'd I go? Paul Schaefer said, what the hell?
You had it.
Says, I'm saying keep Locke. I don't know. Okay. I'll go back to that. Locke, let me get this. I didn't read it all, so let me continue with saying.
Right.
Excuse me, I did read it all. Locke is due $2.99 million.
Right.
base salary in 2025 with incentives. However, Denver could save $4.19 million if they release him before June 1st and take a $1 million hit. But if you don't take the $1 million hit and you let that go through, he's guaranteed 2.99 with incentives. Do you do that deal or do you let him walk? PJ Locke was not that good the last several games of the season.
Yeah. So that's why I'm torn, because you don't have to release him until later on, but he knows the system. He could be, like you said there, a good backup. And you're getting value because that's a low contract value for a safety. But is that offering you value going into 2025, 2026? That's where I said, if Sean Payton or our general manager has someone identified who can help or improve the Broncos, bring them on. But
yeah,
I don't know. It's a business decision that is well above our pay grade, and
it's not above your pay grade.
My pay grade's 0.
All right. Next to the last topic. I know all you guys are probably cheering and everything. I'm just kidding. Guys, thank you again so much each and every week for being here, supporting this show.
Hit the thumbs up at the bottom.
Oh, yeah. Supporting this show, supporting these two crazy 60-year-old plus guys, having a fun time talking about Broncos and other
Speak for
topics.
yourself being 60 and over. I'm not there yet.
How old are you, bud?
Mentally or physically?
Well, both. My wife says I'm 15 most of the time when I'm.
Well, my wife thinks I'm physically 106 and mentally 6. So you take that average, that's 56. Is
that how old you are?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to put you in the 60 category. So I'm 10 years older than you.
Speak for yourself. I'm still playing beach volleyball twice a week.
I'm still playing video games on my PS5. I'm a kid. I'm telling you, I'm a kid, man. I love it. Oh, dang. Jack, golly, dude. Thank you so very much, man. Bill and Spence, I really enjoy it. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
It means the world. It means the world to us, Jack. Honestly does. Paul Schaefer says, good show, Buffalo Bill. And Kona, I mean Bronco Bill. Hey, it's all good. I'm going for Buffalo this week. Not last week. I went for him this week. Or not last week, 2 weeks ago, whatever it was. Yes, Jack, we are kids at heart. My mom used to always say, you cannot stop how old you get, but you can control how old you act. And she said, always act younger than you feel, and you'll live a long time. My mom lived to be 89. There you go.
And Jack, I'm the son of a toy inventor, so I am like that old Toys R Us commercial. I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid.
You are a Toys R Us kid if your dad invented toy. Yeah.
You do not know the number of days we had to go to Toys R Us and do research on everything.
Oh, I bet that was tough.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, right.
I wish I invented this.
There you go. All right. Next to the last topic. This is the Broncos draft order for the upcoming draft. After Broncos finished the season with a 10-7 record, their draft order is as follows. First round, 20th pick. Second round, 51st. Third, 85th. 4 through 7 to be determined depending on the outcome of the playoffs and all that. Number 4, round 4, is from the Cardinals. Round 7 is from the Eagles. Do the Broncos pick up valuable players with the first 3 rounds being the 20th, the 51st, and the 85th pick? Those seem very, very long shot to get good quality players, especially round 1, 21st pick.
No, I actually think there's value to be in there, but it depends. Now, you did a great little discussion and a little experience about that Oregon, rough life kid. Yeah.
Jack Kenneth says rough life of the kids, Spence, going to all them toy stores.
Yep. I still have a rough life because I got kids who are playing video games right now like, Daddy, 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 I've got to be the responsible parent. No, back to the draft for the Broncos. There's a Oregon wide receiver.
Ooh.
If he fell down 220 that they'd love to get. If not, there's a linebacker. There's a few linebackers and a few defensive linemen and a safety or two in this draft that could possibly help the Broncos. So it just depends what are their immediate needs right now.
Okay, well, here's one from Paul Schaefer. He's throwing a good one at you. Chargers draft number 22 right behind Denver. So I'm worried, Paul says, I'm worried they get someone we miss on or they jump us to 19. How serious do you think that could happen?
No, not going to happen. And Paul, you'd love to get a wide receiver and then trade Sutton.
What?
No.
Wow. You're empty there, Spence. You need to refill, buddy.
No.
Wow. No.
Did I just see that, Paul? Wow. Bold statement. Yeah. Hey, Sutton, I think, is our future. He is the man. But
I love Sutton.
Love Sutton. But what I want to see from him is if we get that receiver from Oregon, I'm not going to jinx the name. And there's potential that he drops down to 20.
I know who you're talking about, the one that was there with Bo Nix.
If you could have those two guys team up together, oh my gosh, could that make a prolific offense?
So we could have that guy, Troy Franklin, Cortland Sutton, Marvin Mims. Come on, man. Seriously.
But I'll tell you this, I'm looking at one mock draft right now, and this is interesting what they have for the Broncos.
Thanks, Rudy. You're still here. Well, so are we. So we appreciate it.
You're going to love this. This mock draft has us taking Ashton Gentry from Boise State.
There you go. Jack Kennedy just threw you a request. Guys, what's your biggest need? I'm going to throw this to you, Spence, because you're more on that intellectual side or analytical, whatever you want to call it side. He said, I was thinking O-line, wide receiver, tight end, running back. The defense is stout and not in any order. What do you think?
I think if who's the wide receiver again from Oregon? Forgot his name.
I know who it is, but yeah.
If he is available at 20, you grab him.
Tez, that's it. Tez. Paul Schaefer said Tez is going later than third or fourth round. Tez is Bo's brother. That's, if you guys remember, I brought up several shows ago, not in great detail, but basically what it is Tez was having a rough life going to college in Oregon. He was struggling. And Bo Nix picked up on this, and he asked his dad, hey, Dad, can we bring him in and have him stay with us so he can kind of get back on his feet, get more focused into school and into Oregon football. They brought him in. They adopted him. From what I understand, they adopted him. So technically, it's Bo Nix's adopted brother, Tez. That's who the wide receiver is.
Okay.
But
I would think this offensive line after that.
At 15 years old. Yeah, he brought him in at 15 years old. That's right.
Let's see.
Oh, from high school, not from college. I'm sorry, from high school.
Jack's comment: Gentry won't be there at pick 20. You know what? It depends. I love Gentry and I love his attitude, but he came from Boise State in the Mountain West. Did they have enough experience against the big guys? That's the thing. Would I love to see Gentry here? Oh my God, that would just open up the playbook and make things more viable. Having a running back that is skill and everything like that. So, boy, we're going to get into the draft coming up soon. Yep, Paul Kuiper's predicted Gentry to the Broncos.
Okay, so we're going to wrap this up here. We got family obligations that take us into towards 7 o'clock. Let's wrap this up real quick, Spence. You okay with that?
I'm okay with that. My daughter's got to get to her basketball practice.
All right, here we go. Real quick. Pat Surtain has been nothing short of outstanding since he was drafted by the Broncos. Well, his efforts have paid off dearly, and he was named AFC Defensive Player of the Year for 2024. The award is selected by sports writers and broadcasters who cover the NFL. How amazing, how rewarding. Hats off
Yes.
to Pat Surtain for being an outstanding corner, shutdown corner, all-world corner. If this guy at the end of his career does not go into the Hall of Fame on a first ballot selection, something's wrong. This guy's breaking records. He's getting achievements and awards all across the NFL. Well deserving.
And I hope he is a longtime Bronco, contrary to his dad, who wanted him to go somewhere else. But you know what? Bronco Nation, Bronco ownership, take care of this guy. He is going to be a staple forward of this defense for going for a while.
Jack says, Spence, it doesn't matter where I don't know who that is, played at 5'9", probably around pick 13 to 16.
Yep. Gentry, the running back.
Got it.
You know what? It's going to be a great draft that we'll get into more details coming up, because there isn't that huge QB class that we saw last year. I honestly think Cam Ward is the big standout. Other than that, there isn't a quarterback that just makes you go, wow. So after that, you're going to be picking up all the other positions: offensive line, defensive line, linebacker, wide receiver. So the Broncos at 20, do they trade up? Oh, Surtain was the guy to be able to cover Brock Bowers the entire season. Beast. He also held. Yep. He also held Jamar Chase to his lowest.
Yep.
We've talked about that.
Spence, I know you got to run. One final comment from you, then I'll wrap it up. If you have to cut out, it's fine. But I'd love you to hang on if you can. Just want to give people real quick, after you make your last comment, I will say what is going to transpire the first Friday of February 7th. There will be a new major change to this show. Spence, go ahead and wrap up what you got left of this of these topics tonight. What are your thoughts? As you wrap it up, and then we'll close it out.
I think the Broncos have all the optimism moving forward. Ownership, take care of Bonito. You've got to take care of him now, not later, not wait. Take care of him now.
Yeah, don't do what the Avalanche did and let him go to another team like Mikko Rantanen couldn't come to agreement with the Avalanche. Don't let that happen, Broncos organization. Don't let Bonito walk, please. Anyways.
Yeah, do it now. Set the bar before someone else sets the bar, and the bar goes higher, higher, and higher.
Exactly.
I think we're going to have a great weekend with golf. With golf. Oh, my God. My other job that I'm thinking about. With the NFC, AFC championships. The reason I'm thinking
cover everything, man.
No, the reason I'm thinking this, anybody who lives in the LA area, I am the standard bearer chairman for the Genesis Invitational, and they just announced today that it's moving from Riviera down to San Diego. So I've got everybody who's texting me like crazy. Hey, different story.
Real quick, Jack says, good night, gentlemen. Great show. Thank you so much. Hope to see you guys in the Wild Wild West chat. I promise I will be there at the Wild. I will give back to you, Jack, what you give to this show. I will be in the chat.
Yeah,
promise.
And my daughter just came up here and gave me the look like, Daddy.
All right, you got to cut out of here. I'm going to wrap it up, and unless you can stay for 2 minutes.
I can stay. Let's wrap it up together.
All right, here we go. Guys, starting February 7th, this show known as Broncos Breakdown, hosted by me entirely until I brought in Spence, this guy right there, till I brought in Spence. We are collectively changing the name of the show, changing the logo of the show, and it's going to be much better because you guys are going to make it much better. We're evolving. We're making it more we're making it more modern, okay? Making it more modern. So look for that starting February 7th, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We are going to drop the new logo, the new entry, the new show moving forward in 2025. Guys, that's it. That's all we have. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you have not, please do so. We absolutely love the fact you guys are here each and every week. We could not do it without you guys. You are the very backbone. Spence, thank you so much for being my co-host each and every week. Thanks for your insight. Really do appreciate it. Guys, check out all the other shows Monday through Friday. Once again, next Friday, 5, 6, 7, and 8, we will be here to bring you Broncos news, football news, and we will lead up to the championship round, or excuse me, lead up to the Pro Bowl. After the championship round, we will comment on that. Guys, have a fantastic weekend. Spence, you want to say adios and we're out of here?
Adios, everybody. Make sure you have a good hijinks weekend. Enjoy everything. Get ready for more fun and more hijinks coming up in the future. Bill, thank you so much. I am honored to be a part of this show and joining you. And we're just going to make this a lot more fun. Take care, everybody.
All right, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.
Fast lane when I pass in the street. Bag of money in the passenger seat. Tempo's been asking for me on the road from the west to the east. Way up, I might never come down, cause the coast's racking up the flight miles. So high, I might never come down, so I